Somehow, Mario had found the strength to cross the desert's sweltering dunes. Ahead was a sprawling complex of ruins rising out of the sand. Thankful for the shade, Mario and Tippy ventured deeper inside. They were the very ruins Old Man Watchet had warned them about. What dangers lurked in the shady corridors ahead? And welcome back to more Super Paper Mario. Last time we made it through Yold Desert, fought a weird goon of Count Blex, and this time we're entering the ruins. Mario, I can feel the calling. The pure heart is nearby. But wait, I sense something else emanating from the sand dunes. Be careful now, Mario. Something else is waiting for us ahead. Yold Ruins. Classic dungeon-y level. By the way, the structure of this game is very different. It's divided into little sections. It's not just one big chapter. Honestly, when you argue that handheld games should be a little bit more dense and less like, you know, there with fewer places that just you can't save. I'd actually argue Super Paper Mario does a really good job, and Super Paper Mario, oddly enough, would make a really good like Switch or even Nintendo 3DS game potentially, because it does have really bite-sized sections. You could potentially beat a lot of these sections in just a sitting, put it down, do something else. And that is a nice feature in the handheld. So yeah, I would actually not be surprised to see this from that standpoint. If this got put on a 3DS, for example, they would actually probably not have to change too much from the structure of it. I know Majora had that problem. Majora is such a weirdly structured game. Hey look, this is a live stream. Automatically restores 5 HP if you fall in battle. So that might sound like a nerf to you, but it's not that big of a nerf because, quite frankly, you find so many mushrooms on the field, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, you can basically still tell a story and have decently satisfying levels, even in little bite-sized pieces, and that's something that Super Paper Mario actually does well. Something that's actually really nice about recording this game is it's actually really convenient because each little chapter section works really well for a video. Sometimes with other RPGs, a lot of RPGs actually, you get a lot of sections where you just can't stop because you can't save, because you're getting bombarded with cutscenes and story and battles and whatnot. But like this is actually pretty bite-sized again, so it's actually really nice from a Let's Play standpoint. I think another good example is Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. That is more of a traditional RPG, but it does have copious amounts of save blocks to the point where what is the purpose of this? It has enough save blocks to really make it not that big of a deal when you do have to kind of stop playing. And again, Majora was the example I used before because they had to obviously retool a lot with the saving, because then you just have to go long periods of time without being able to save, which is really bad in a Zelda game. People kind of argue Zelda's kind of an RPG, but kind of action. Something happened outside the room. So for an action RPG, which is what I classify this as, I think this is a good compromise. It still has RPG elements, it still has sort of a similar story design as the past games, but it also definitely has benefits from a tighter style of gameplay. And by that I mean like, oh, I was making this a lot more complicated than it actually was. It's sort of like not as RPG heavy, but it's still got RPG elements, and the whole structure is a lot more accessible. Not that Paper Mario isn't accessible, because it actually super duper is extremely accessible. So we can't get up to the door, or can we? There's something there, I'll show it to you. I'm pretty sure I've just been rambling and I haven't really made this point clear, but what I mean is this game is a lot more like, well divided, I would say. And it just makes it overall nice to play for Let's Play because you don't have to worry about stopping at awkward spots because pretty much everything is lined up pretty well. A little bit of an optical illusion, the key is actually in the little section behind the block structure, it's just to throw you off. And you'll also notice we have a little bit of a hidden pathway over here, so let us wait for our gauge to recharge and then see what's over there. And also part of the reason I'm talking about this is the obvious reason of, yeah, you can make a handheld game without compromising elements of the story and structure. Cough cough, hint hint. And again, this is coming from someone who doesn't actually hate Sticker Star, but I still think it has a lot of fundamental issues. It's like one of those games where I had fun with it, even though I can admit it definitely had a lot of problems. Anyway, moving on, we gotta go through this door, and we should be getting close to the end, I think. Okay, so we have to figure out a way to get to the door. You'll notice there is an actual platform this time, so it's not just being hidden. Secret ladder. Can we jump? Looks like we have to climb from the bottom. Oh well. No fancy strats for us. And I do think that is an important thing though, trying to sort of compromise level design for a different genre, and obviously this is sort of the age-old debate because of games going from 2D to 3D, or from platformers, RPGs, or whatever. You have to occasionally just accommodate design. Okay, this was clearly a trap. Hit this giant red button, and this actually opens up the floor for us. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, why are we doing this? And the answer is clear. If we fall down this giant pit now, we have a platform. Why these spikes don't hurt us now, I can't tell you, but plot convenience, that's what it is. So now we have a block puzzle. In 2D, we can see the we can't see the combination, but in 3D, it's pretty obvious. Voila! And that opens up this giant staircase. This game's whole art style is so different, too. Again, it has elements of the original game, but it's also very much its own entity, and it's kind of fascinating. Because it does sort of retain some references to Thousand Year Door in the first game, but it's largely its own thing. Got a heal block, not a heal block, that's a mushroom, and a save block, so obviously not trying to tell us anything. Let's move on. Totally not gonna run straight into danger here. Oh, this is a really zoomed out camera. Warning. Intrusion detected. Leave immediately or be purged. Wait, scan initialized. Red cap detected. Blue overalls detected. Level 5 mustache detected. Incredible. Possible subject identification. But it is impossible. Hold your position. Searching databanks. That is the Wii Shop channel loading icon. Search complete. One positive match. System overload. Legendary hero identified. Forgive me, hero. I am called Fracked. My only purpose is to defend the pure heart from lawless intruders. You are late. I have waited thousands of years for your arrival. You may pass. The pure heart is just ahead. Haha, it won't be that easy, oh no. Who speaks? So very nice to meet you and your mustache. I am Complex Master of Dimensions, the pleaser of crowds. I am Dementio. Remember the name well. I know you're that. It would be so very dull if your journey ends so easily. Instead, it ends with magic. Bzzz. Yes, much better. Now you and this robotic guardian can spend some quality time. Yes, quality snack time, where when he snacks on you, for you are the snack. Ciao! What did he just... Beep. I am error. Press any key to restart. System not found. Install disk not found. Please confirm this covers... I can't read all this that fast. You can pause the video if you really care to see what Fractal has to say. Computer hamsters not found. Jelly Roll 1 detonation imminent. And of course the quote I am error is referencing The Legend of Zelda. Ooh, that looks like a hard drive problem. That's not good. See, Control-Alt-Delete. Welp. I think he's having some problems. But yeah, it's a reference to Zelda 2, I Am Error, where there's two characters named Error and Bug. Hilariously, Error is thought to be the error, but Bug is actually the problem, because his name Bagu. His name's actually supposed to be Bug. But this is Fractal. He is our first boss battle. It's a pretty easy boss battle. So he'll charge at us like so. Once he starts attacking like that, what you need to do is jump up. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. Okay, now I'm a little bit confused, because I could have sworn that's what you were supposed to do. Or maybe it's when you approach us from the side. I think this is actually it. Looks like Fractal's charging straight at us, better watch out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So when he charges from the side, jump onto his back. Pretty cool. Riding a giant dragon, we got these little mini things that we can toss at his little antenna. Rinse and repeat. There's a bug in this fight, not a bug, a feature, where if you actually time this really, really well, if you're just really good at the game, and just jump with perfect timing, you can land back on the Fractal. So, we skipped the cycle. We didn't have to do the ground phase, because we jumped back on him. Just a little bit of a speedrun strat. I really like showing this because it's fun, and it's also not that difficult to do. And now rinse and repeat. Can we get the really fast strat? We did, cool. And there. Yeah, you're supposed to fall off and then jump back on him, but this is a Let's Play, we're on a time schedule. System crash. Ah, I have malfunctioned. What have I done? Hero, the error is mine. I'm sorry. Shame circuit smoldering. Please, you must save our world. Poor guy. But we got a door. I mean, he did his job of protecting the pure heart. Just tried to stop us. And we're the hero, and it wasn't even his fault, which is actually kind of sad when you think about it. Welcome, hero. My name is Merlumina. I am a dormant soul. I have waited long to give you the pure heart. Yes, I've been waiting for 1500 years. Your presence here must mean that all the worlds have begun to collapse. Yes, they have, in fact. That's why we're here. Before I give you the pure heart, you and I must speak. Listen well, hero. Long, long ago, my people built a civilization hailed as a beacon of culture. Sadly, despite their power, there was one thing we were powerless to stop. The Dark Prognosticus. Nobody knows who authored the Dark Book. It foretold the events of the future. On the last page, it was written that a chaotic power would devour the world. We knew it had to be stopped. Our greatest minds devised a grand plan to stop the tragedy before it happened. We needed something with the pure essence of love to confront the chaos. Researchers set to work and they created the Purity Heart. We divided the Purity Heart into 8 pieces and hid them in different dimensions. We hid them for their own protection, waiting for the day the hero would arrive. Everything was going as planned, or so it seemed, but the wheels of destiny began to spin wildly out of control. It began with a very small incident. At that time I was young and quite beautiful. It started the day I met 2 very fetching young men, and you see my life set sail toward a maelstrom of love. You see, I asked one out, but however, it was, well, you know, basically it, and then I said, and he said, and then... And that is why we hope the Purity Heart will have the power to defeat chaos. To save all worlds, we must find the 8 pure hearts that form the Purity Heart. And that is all I have to say on the matter. Were you listening carefully? Yeah. Excellent. I did tell the short version, so I wasn't sure if you would fully understand. It is up to you to find the pure hearts, for they are our last and only hope. Go forth, hero, and save the worlds. We are all depending on you. You got a pure heart. And the end of chapter. Before disappearing, Malumina had entrusted Mario to save every world. She had waited 1500 years to deliver the message to the legendary hero. With the second pure heart in hand, Mario was in great spirits, but 6 pure hearts still remained to be found. And the journey had just begun. With a flutter to be said, I think we'd better return to Flipside. The weight of every world's fate once again rested on Mario's shoulders. And we're once again given the opportunity to save the game, but we will be ending this here. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Super Paper Mario.